Hi, welcome to Align and Activate Your Spiritual Business, episode 2. So, today we are going to be talking about financial empowerment for spiritual entrepreneurs. So, my name is Amy, Activation Amy, and I am a light language activation channel and guide, a coach for light workers, and I help healers to manifest their path and purpose, activate their gifts and create amazing, beautiful lives and businesses they love. And this is the amazing, beautiful
Jenny Priestner, manifestation and mindset mentor, master NLP practitioner, channel and healer. So I help spiritual business owners overcome their fear of being seen to confidently express their authentic self and show up in their businesses to manifest a thriving soul-led business.
Oh, so powerful. I love that. And I love the way you went confident there. I was like,
Oh, hear me roar!
it was like, I've seen all these like sparkles come off you there when you did that.
Loving it.
Okay. So today I feel like we're going to do some tough love because, this is something that's so much on our hearts. And it's definitely been a journey that we've been on, and it's something that comes up time and time again. And the reason that we're going to talk about this is the reason why we've called it financial empowerment for spiritual entrepreneurs is because when you are starting your own business, when you're an entrepreneur, there is a time in order to move forward when it's appropriate to work with somebody like a coach, a mentor, a guide, to invest in yourself, to do a course, to basically go to the next level and get yourself out there. But what comes up time and time again, and I know it's not just for us, but it's for everybody, is they want to take that step, but they're like, I can't afford it, right? And we're going to break down for you today, okay, what the kind of limiting beliefs are around that, okay, what to do if you feel like you can't afford it, how to move through that, and some action steps that you can take, okay? So, do you want to add anything to that first of all, Jen?
I know, I just think, like you say, though, it's so beneficial, isn't it, to invest in yourself? And we'll go into it a little bit later on as to what I've invested in myself and what you've invested in yourself. But I think the key thing here that I want to say, and just to break this down in like a very simple form, is if someone's got what you want and what you need to take your business to the next level to allow you to thrive and just become a better spiritual entrepreneur and a better spiritual business owner, then you are doing yourself an injustice by not investing in yourself. It's no skin off their nose if you choose not to invest. I'm going to keep using the word invest because you're not paying someone, you are investing in yourself. So it's no skin off their nose. Like if by the end of the discovery call, you're like, no, okay, I decided I don't want to do it, then that, coach or person is not going to go home and cry themselves to sleep that night because they know in their heart of hearts that you are not their ideal client because they want to work with someone that is so up for improving themselves that it's like, right, okay, yeah, I definitely need this. And I know that it's going to make a massive difference to my business. But whereas if you're like umming and ahhing, like the only person that's like missed out there is yourself. So yeah, they started with the tough love, hasn't it? But it's so true. So yeah, so that was my addition there to what you just said.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough love episode. So I feel like I need to just start with saying a little bit like about my journey because then we'll kind of be able to go from there. So I want to just highlight this point first of all because I think there's this common misconception with people that they need to have the money up front there and available in order to pay somebody, right? And this is why I offer payment plans and things like that because I really believe in the power of that. And I'm really grateful for all of the coaches and mentors that have helped me on my journey for their payment plans, right? But I want to just say this at no point, at absolutely no point, when I ever invested in anybody, did I ever have the full money up front. I just didn't. right? And I want to just say as well, there was quite a few times when I wasn't employed, right? I was between jobs whilst I was, developing my spiritual gifts. I was learning business skills, I was learning marketing, all of that stuff. At no point did I ever have the money up front. Okay. And sometimes, like I was saying, I didn't have a job. I didn't know how the money was going to come in, but I knew in my heart of hearts that this person was the next step for me, right? And because I felt incredibly drawn to them, and I still made the leap. I still signed up, and the money came back to me every single time. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to do, because you've got to really tune into what is right for you. And we're going to help you to do that, hopefully, in the conversation that we're going to have here. Right. But I'm really talking to the people that know that it's time to invest in themselves, that know that they're supposed to be putting their gifts out there. But there's just this thing around money. Right. And a big part of being an entrepreneur is, like Jenny was saying, it's making that investment and trusting and knowing that this investment is going to come back to you. And I'm just going to say actual figures now. So I've been on this journey now for about 8 years. So I did my initial transformational life coaching program back in, I think it was 2017 or 2018. So that's quite a lot of years now. I don't even know what that is, like 8 or 9 years maybe, right? And during the course of this time, I've lost count of the amount of mentors that I've actually had, because I actually believe in continuous development, right? And I've bought so many programs. Some have been better than others, right? Because that's the journey. I don't regret any money that I ever spent on anything ever, because it was all a learning curve and it all helped me to become a better entrepreneur. So now that we're talking figures, we are probably looking at it must be, the last time I checked, it was 50K, and that was probably a couple of years ago. So we're probably more talking along the lines of, I'd probably say around 60K now, getting on for ish in my own growth. And that's obviously a lot of money. So this is what I'm getting at. I did not have money to pay for that at the time. I acted in faith, and the universe responded, because that's what happened. So I don't know if you want to say a little bit about your journey, Jenny, just to let
I'll
people
start
know.
off with mine as well. Like, I mean, so my journey obviously started off, I did a degree in psychology. And at the
Mm-hmm.
time when I did that, my higher self must have known my journey. But at the time, I just knew I really thrived in psychology, like human behavior, why we are the way we are, the subconscious mind. So literally only this year have I paid off my student loan, and I finished uni in 2008. I'm not even going to do the
Yeah.
maths because I'm shocking. I'm not Carol Vorderman. I'll rewire people's minds, not do maths. But that is a lot of time, right? But obviously, I had to invest that money in myself in order to come to the level of understanding that I have about the human body, why we are the way we are, and how the subconscious mind works. And then since moving on from that, then obviously I've trained to be a life coach, trained to be a master NLP practitioner, had to pay for all that. I invested in a business coach, and at the time, honestly, I ummed and ahed because like say, these are investments, and I'm like, and people were saying to me like, you don't need to spend that money, you can do it on your own, and I'm like, no, I really can't. Like, and within yourself whether you can put all the pieces of the puzzle together that that person provides. And the way I see it, right, is you can either sit there and scratch away at YouTube trying to put all the pieces together at night time, trying to learn it all, trying to put it all together and just hope and pray. And like as my coach says, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hope it sticks. Or you can have someone that holds your hand and takes you like on the cat sat on the mat, like taking them on the exact strategy that they do that makes their business work. And in the end, I would just stop listening to other people saying, you don't need to spend that money. Because I was like, yes, I do. Because do you know what? I was getting stressed, and I was just getting annoyed at the fact that I wasn't able to do it. And then when I started working with my coach, which I'm going to say it's coaching with Paula, she was absolutely beautiful, my business mentor, and she'd just be speaking to me. And I think to myself, how on earth do you know all this? Like, I really knew nothing about marketing. I knew nothing about just the foundations of it all. And like, so once I'd entered into the program, I was just blown away. I was like, right, okay, I really could not have done this without her help, if that makes sense. And that has allowed my business to grow to the position that it is at today. And so, was it worth the money? Yes. Have I made it back? Yes. And so, it's worth investing in these things. So, what else have I paid out for as well? There's multiple ceremonies as well that you've paid out, which are obviously going to raise your
Oh,
vibration and things like that. So in collective terms, again, I'm crap at maths here. I'm not going to tottle it up. Um, I don't know how much of my student loan. Obviously, some of that was my digs and things like that. But you're probably looking at like 25K.
mm.
So it's, it is a thing. You do have to invest in yourself. And even now, it's like I'm at the point again where it's like, you know what? I do fancy a business coach again because it is just nice to have someone there to just give you that kick up the ass and just to give you what's the word? Accountability. Because yeah, we can do things on our own and we can do it at a snail's pace, or you can have someone with you and they're going to be like, have you done it? Why not have you done it? Why have you done this? And the moment that you've got someone holding you accountable, I tell you what, you don't just float through business. You're able to manifest the steps quicker because your aligned action is held accountable. You're not just got, your boyfriend saying like, "Oh, did you do that thing?" Like, "Oh, yeah, you were busy, weren't you?" You've got a coach going, "You said you was going to do it. Why have you not done it?" Like, come on now. And this is how you're going to get your momentum in your business moving faster and faster. So, yeah. And obviously, ours are just more along the lines of getting our business out there. Whereas obviously I work with clients, removing their limiting beliefs. And this is absolutely massive in business. If you have got something that is holding you back and stopping you from shining your light and putting yourself out there, then that is a bigger issue than needing a business coach. Like, because you are literally holding yourself back. It's like pulling back a catapult and never letting go because you're scared to let go. Like, I know I want to do it, but like that is what rewiring your mindset and working with someone that is going to help you go through the limiting beliefs. Because once you've released them, how you just go. So there's my analogy for today.
I love that. And I just want to bring up the accountability piece again. And you can try and do it on your own, right? You absolutely can, but it's going to be so hard. Like, it's going to be so much harder, right? So, the thing is, when you pay money as well, you're not
Invest.
invest. Okay, when you invest in money, you're not willing to mess about, right, with something because you've invested, right? Because you're paying money towards something. So it's like you want to make sure that you get the value out of that. So that in itself is going to hold you accountable. That's the importance of investing in yourself, right? So yes, you would have your coach as well saying, why have you not done this or whatever, but the money as well, whatever you're paying out each month is there. You're making the payment. It's like, well, I better fucking show up for the payment then, hadn't I? Do you know what I mean? Because that's the other side of it, and that's why it works. It works, and that's why you can't undersell your services as well, because the kind of it's important, I think, to have things at like different levels and different stages, right? But like I know for a fact, right, the courses that I've bought that were incredibly cheap, like the ones on what's it called, Udemy, and
Udemy.
I'm not throwing shade at that. There's nothing wrong with those types of courses. Do you know what I mean? Like they are, some of them, very, very good. But I know that I've bought so many of them and I've never even touched them. Like I've not even looked at them. Right, they're still there for me to come back to in 2000 and I don't know, never maybe.
I feel
So
like I'm guilty of that as well.
yeah, because I'm probably not valuing that person's work, right, as well, which is, it's not the best, but that like £12 or whatever it was that I paid for that thing, somebody else could charge like £2,000 for that, and you better believe that I'm going to finish that course. Do you know what I mean? And you better believe I'm gonna like dissect every single bit of it and use it in whatever it is that I'm doing. So this is the difference. And they might not even, it might just be that it's presented more nice. Do you know what I mean? There's probably there is a world of difference. I get that, because do you know what I mean? But like, do you get, I'm gonna make sure that I implement that course, right? With the Udemy ones, I'm never going to look at. And again, I'm not saying this is a case in it. I'm not throwing shade at Udemy or people that buy those types of courses, because there's some beautiful ones. But personally, my experience is that I don't do anything with that, right? And the courses that I've invest like 2, 3, 4, 5K and beyond, whatever, I'm telling you now, like I've finished them courses and I've implemented a lot of it and still go back to some of them now. So this is the difference. You can get these like, cheaper courses which are going to help you maybe to put a little piece of the puzzle in place. But actually truly investing in yourself means you're going to do the work, you're going to show up for yourself, and ultimately you're going to get the result. So that's what it's about. Like you're paying for that result, which is the investment, because you're going to do it.
I love that. Honestly, do you know what? Honestly, I haven't actually thought about it that way, but it's true though, isn't it? If you've spent 11 quid on something, you just be like, you just forget it. But if you spent 2,500 or even like 200 quid on something, you're like, no, I've invested money in that one. Like, so
Yeah,
your mind's a little bit more drawn to
yeah,
complete it. So I feel like
yeah,
that's like a new perception for me that I'd never really thought of before. So kind of like that one.
yeah,
But the thing is though, as well, is you have to also ask yourself, what is the cost to yourself for not investing? So say for example, I feel like just 2,500 for a high ticket offer, something like that. So you've got resistance to spending that type of money. Okay, no, don't feel like I can afford it right now. I'm going to step away. But what in the long term is that going to cost you? That's going to cost you time because you're then going to go and sit on YouTube and places like that trying to extract all the information that that person offered in their like 3 month package. It's going to take away energy because I don't know about you, but obviously I have to stop what I'm doing to go and pick my little boy from school, do his tea, and then I'm sat on the computer then until 12 o'clock at night sometimes, like
yeah,
trying to pull information together and stuff. So then it's your energy, it's you're having to draw stuff away. Whereas that person was just going to deliver you the information that you needed in a beautiful way because you've obviously connected with their energy within an hour, but it's taken you 3 hours searching to find someone that you resonate with on YouTube. Okay, that one's got the information, that one's delivering it better. And it's not quite how you want it. So you don't, I don't know how it is with you, but with me, if I like someone, I like their energy, I like what they're saying, I like how they deliver it, the information sticks in my head a lot
yes,
better.
yes,
Whereas if someone's not quite delivering it in a certain way, then I kind of just switch off, if that makes sense. So again, though, this is why it's important to put your authentic energy out in your business because then you're going to want to work with someone that you're like, right, okay, I really resonate with this person. And lastly, like effort as well. So I think we can all agree, like time, effort, and energy. By the time you've done all that multiple times to try and get the result, that has cost you more because it's taken away your time of, I don't know, you might have cancelled, not cancelled, but like you might have blocked out your discovery calls so you can't take on more clients because you're trying to educate yourself to try and do something right. So in essence, sometimes it actually costs more to not invest than it does invest, really.
yeah, definitely. Like time is our greatest commodity. Do you know what I mean? We've all got the same amount of time in a day, but it's what we choose to do with it. So, for example, there's people making millions of pounds every day, and there's people they're not making anything, right? But they're just choosing to use their time differently. So, yeah, time is money, right? Especially in this sense, right? Because somebody that's got the pieces of the puzzle that you need, and because you resonate with that person, that is the next step. You really got to ask yourself, what is it costing me to hold back here now? What is it costing me to not work with this person? And I've always been somebody, I will say this, that buys things like quite quickly. Like I'm very good at I'll tune into a person's energy. And I feel like the way that I bought things the most is probably through YouTube. But some things have been Facebook ads as well, right? But it's been because I've seen the person on video talking about something. And like you say there, Jen, it's something about the way that that person is speaking and the way that that person is presenting the information that I probably might have already known on some level, but it's clicking and it's landing in a way that it didn't before. And I'm like, that's really making sense to me what that person's saying. I need to work with that person. And at no point have I ever sort of gone around and like compared coaches or done any of that really. I've just known once I've seen a person, they've started talking and I've been like, that's what I need. And I've gone and looked at what it is that they sell, and I'm like, I'm going to do that, and I don't care how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Even when I've not been working right now, I've always been that person. I tend to work with people very quickly. Once it's a click, it's right, like, and it has been right. And there's a level of using your intuition, right, as to what is right for you. And another thing you can do is ask your angels and guides. Is this the next best step for me? But a lot of the time your angels and guides will go, do you want to do this? And you'll be like, yeah, I want to do it. Right. And they'll go, okay, then we'll make it happen for you. Right. But you have to take the step. You have to make the decision. Like the accountability lies on you. Right. But then your angels, guides, the universe, whatever you work with, right, that is what's going to mold and conform to your decision. Whereas if you're in decision going, I really want to do this, I really want to do this, I can't afford it, can't afford it, can't afford it, well, guess what? You're going to keep doing that. That's just what's going to keep happening. It's like there's a decision that has to be made, and only you can make that decision. So are you going to make it or not?
I love what you said there. Like, I'm quite the same, as in, and I always say it, see it, want it, have it. And it's more of the sense of I know straight away whether I resonate with someone. I know that the moment that when they start talking and they are saying their piece, I'm like a human detector. I'm like, they know the shit. I like their energy. I like the way they're speaking. And I have to like everything about someone before I work with them, because if they've got like I don't know, if they've got something about them that I can't, like, that is like, is a bit, then I know not to work with that person. But I'm exactly the same. When I decide I want to work with someone, I want to work with that person. And the thing is, though, is everything is energy. We've explained this before. So everything is energy. So what that person has, you need. So let's just imagine them. So they are vibrating high here in their business that's thriving. So when they're imparting their knowledge onto you, what they are doing is they are sharing their energy with you. They are sharing
Yeah.
their knowledge. They are sharing their energy. They are sharing their vibration. So then what happens is you raise your vibration, you match their frequency, and if you do things the way that they've done things, and obviously you can tweak it a little bit, but then that is when you are matching their frequency. But this is how energy healing also works. Like, obviously, in my title, I say that I'm a healer, but I don't come to your house and say, like, I am going to heal you. I emit an energy, a healing energy, because I have healed myself. So when I work with
Right.
someone and they're at a low vibrational frequency, right now I am emitting a frequency out while you're listening to this. And as I am working with them, it raises their vibration and they are feeling the healing vibration. And when they match my vibration, then they have learned to heal themselves. So all I'm doing is showing up and providing my energy, right? And it is then for that person, when we work together, they raise their vibration and they match who I am. So this is what it is when you are working with someone. It's not necessarily the case of the information as itself. So as in like, right, okay, I'm just going to pick like business because this is who I've worked with before, like a marketing strategy or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a case of like, it's who they are as a person, how they're carrying themselves up in their business. If you've chosen to buy from them, you like how they conduct themselves. You were drawn to their page, you were drawn to their energy. So, with that said, when you work with them, you start to take on their energy and vibrate at the same frequency as them. So then when they go away and you're then doing your thing, you've kind of fulfilled it. You are ready to go out and be the person that they are in their business, in yours. So this is why we say as well, like with manifestation, it's the whole acting as if thing. So it's matching frequencies that someone is presenting themselves, saying, look, this is me. I'm large and in charge. I know exactly what I'm doing. Come and work with me. And then that's what you'll do. You'll end up matching their frequency when you do the work. And then that is
Yeah.
how that is how as well you change, you learn, you grow. So
Yeah.
how's that one?
Love it. Yeah, love that. So basically, I totally believe that. I really resonate with that as well. Like it's when you buy into somebody, into their service, you're not buying specifically the process that they're teaching, because there's probably hundreds of people teaching that process, right? Even if it's been channeled, the process is the process, right? But you are buying their energy. That's what you are buying into. And it's that energy which is the activation of your energy, your gifts, what it is that you're meant to bring through, right, in your way. But that person's energy, you like something about that person that you want to replicate in your own way
Mhm.
in your business, right? And that's what it is. It's not like, that's why, yes, strategy, structure, social media, all these things, marketing, important, very important. But the bigger part of it is, it's about your energy and who you are being, how you are showing up in your business. And it's about speaking your truth and speaking from your heart, which is something that obviously, like, we both do in our own unique ways of working with, our clients. So it really is just about that. Like, you are buying into a person's energy, and you're trusting that that energy is what you need, but your energy is already telling you. If you're drawn to someone, right? I'll give you an example of this. Somebody can trigger you as well, because I've definitely worked with 2 or 3 coaches now that have really triggered me in the beginning, and I've been like, oh my god, she's calling me out, I don't even like it, and I'm like, and really pushed on my beliefs, when I've watched them, but couldn't stop thinking about what they were saying, right? And I've even unsubscribed and everything from their email list and from like YouTube and stuff like that. And I've been really thinking about it, and they still kept popping up on my feed, right? So this is the power of consistency, people, right? And like, I'd see them and then they'd start speaking again, and I'd be like, yeah. And like, over time, it's like they kind of like they kind of like grow on you, like they just, you're just so drawn to them, and that when you listen to them, even though you feel called out, right, which is what a good coach will do, because he won't entertain your bullshit, right, and you're getting in your own way. And I've ended up working with them and actually buying their packages and things like that, even though I unsubscribed from them, because they triggered me, and that triggering was something that caused me to be different, right? And it's not triggered like in a way that I need to set a boundary. It's a different thing. It's like I kept thinking about what it was that they were saying, and it kept coming up. And if you find yourself continuously drawn to someone like that, it's a good sign that that person would be a good fit for you to work with.
I like that because, like we've always said before, a trigger is not a bad thing. All it's doing
Right.
is shining a light exactly, a pinpoint. I'm going to say a laser, not a light. It is like shining a laser on exactly what you need to heal or what you need to work through. So, for the fact that Amy was triggered, was was a good thing because it was kind of showing like this coach is going to offer you the healing of that certain point. And so obviously at first Amy's ego had resistance, like, no, that person's triggered me, I don't like it, don't like it. But a higher self kept like being called back to her, like, yeah, but there's something about that person that I feel like I need to work with. So in the end then Amy's obviously just like absorb, dissolve the ego and like giving in, and the higher self is then booked with it. So yeah, sometimes it is that. But at the end of the day, though, it was still the energy of that person that drew you to them. But obviously in like a chalk and cheese kind of way. Like you went like, oh my God, I've got to work with them. It's like, oh my God, I've got to work with them. They know
Yeah.
something about me. But it's so I'm gonna carry on with my energy thing. So
Yeah.
I want you to think then that money is energy. So everything is energy. Like my mouse on the table is energy. Everything is made up of energy, okay? So with this said then, the first person that ever got me into, not that got me into, that really, really, really helped me in a tough spot, right, was Louise Hay. every day when I was at my worst with my PMDD. I'd sit at my desk, my corporate desk, cry my eyes out because I felt life was shit, but I was just having loads of hormonal struggles. And I had Louise Hay's 101 Power Thoughts on repeat at my desk because it kept me like on a level. And one of the things that she said was, pay your bills with love, yeah? Because if you are begrudgingly going, oh, I've got to fucking pay for my phone bill and pay for my mortgage, it's like, but do you have to pay those things? Yes, you do. So what is the point in putting shitty energy? So you've got to pay them anyway, and all you're doing is putting shitty energy towards doing them, right? So all you are doing is you're not upsetting O2, you're not upsetting, whoever your Lloyd's bank is with your mortgage. They're not feeling your like negative energy about paying the bill. The only person that is feeling that is yourself. So this is what we have to do then. When Louise Hay said, pay your bills with love. And this is what it is. Everything that we're doing, it's like, right, okay, by paying my phone bill, that allows me to speak to my friends and family and be in communication and to even run my online business. I love paying my mortgage bill because that keeps a roof over mine and my son's head. So if you are begrudging paying for something or investing in something, think of the energy that you're putting out there. It's like trying to like pay for something but not letting go of the money and like, oh God, I've got to pay for that. It's like, no, reframe your thinking. This is what we do in NLP. Reframe your thinking, rewire your mindset, and have a word with yourself basically, because what you are doing is a positive thing. Although there is an exchange in currency, there is also going to be an exchange of energy. And if you are starting the journey begrudging that you've got to pay for it, like, think of the result of what you are going to get out of that. So when you are handing over the money, think of the result. Get yourself into the high vibrational frequency of what this money is going to manifest. Okay. And then it's going to like lift your spirits a little bit more. And like with what Amy said before with the offering the payment plans and things like that, this is really important. And I also offer this with my clients because when I'd gone to work with a business coach one time, she was like, yeah, I want the full amount up front. And I was like, well, I don't have the money for that. At the time I was trying to leave my corporate job. I was like, I just don't have the money for that. And she just kind of like looked around as if to say like, tumbleweed. And she actually lost my money because I literally, and obviously I wasn't meant to work with this woman. I then obviously found my coach and she was like, yeah. I offer support up to 9 months. And I just thought, and I was really blown away. I was just like, wow, right, okay, I've never experienced that before. And to be honest, like that's why I do that now with my clients, because at the end of the day, though, some people don't have that money up front to invest. And yes, it is it is faith that the person is going to pay for it every month. But if you've got love and respect for the person that you're working with, then obviously you will do it. And the thing is, though, as well, is this lady then I was able to work with this lady because she made it more affordable. So if you are kind of, struggling with the whole investing and, maybe charging and maybe people aren't buying into your investment as well, like think about breaking the payments down for people. So I think, and again, though, you're not going to get as much resistance with that, not paying that fucking bill. Like, no, change your energy, be high vibrational. You are investing in yourself.
Yeah. So that's it, isn't it? It's like whenever I've had the paid the investments for my coaches and courses and things like that, whenever I've paid that monthly amount, I've always had so much gratitude and love behind it. Like every time I've paid it, I've been so grateful for the fact that that exists. And yeah, I think have payment plans on, and like most things, like I really do believe in payment plans. So what I just want to move to in the conversation though now is what about when, so it's all right, it's all well and good, we're all saying this now about payment plans, but what about the people that genuinely cannot afford the payment plan right now? What would you say to that?
Genuinely can't afford the payment plan right now,
Yeah.
they
So what?
probably just have to do what I've done before. If you really, really, really want something, go away and manifest that money. When I've
Yeah.
not been able to, and I'm talking like at times, because obviously I'm a single parent and I've been on an absolute journey of my single parenting. adventure with, being a homeowner. And I went through a phase one point, and I'm like, if it ain't glued down and I don't need it, it's getting sold. And honestly, I've put my life on Vinted before. I've done things before to help manifest the money. And
Yeah.
but this is what we have to do. And also, as well, if you're saying to yourself, right, okay, I can't afford that at the moment. But I'm just gonna go and divulge, a night out with the girls, that's 150
Yeah.
quid, a meal out. I'm still drinking wine or smoking cigs or whatever. Have a
Yeah.
look at your life. Have a look at your outgoings. And this makes me laugh. And I speak to my friends about this. They're like, oh, but I've not got any outgoings. I'm like, well, what are you paying for? Oh, right. Well, I paid £20 for that. I've got £10 going out of my bank for that. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't need all that. Literally trim the fat. As a sole homeowner on my own, living with my son, like my bills are bare minimum because I can't have like, oh, that goes out for that and that goes out for that. If you've got a gym membership and you don't use it, cancel it. And I would rather you go and work out because it's good for your mind, body, and soul. But have a look at your outgoings and be honest to yourself. Like, do you actually really need that? Do you use that? What is more important for you at this moment in time? And there's many ways of trying to generate money. Like I say, I put my life on Vinted once upon a time, but you don't get taxed off Vinted because you are selling your own goods, secondhand goods. You don't get taxed for it. So, if that's going to buy you a little bit much, and I seen a lady the other day, I think she'd made three grand on Vinted by selling everything for £5, right? Everything is possible, yeah? It is just your mindset that's saying, I can't make that money. I don't know how to do it. Like, it's a mindset shift. And I'm going to tell a story actually, right? So there was obviously as can I call myself a content creator? I don't feel like I'm one of them like, oh my God, content creators. But,
Yeah, but you
as a
definitely
business
are a
owner,
content creator.
as a business owner, right, we create content.
Yeah.
So obviously you create a lot of free stuff because you like to give value to your audience, yeah? So not everyone is going to invest in you in a monetary fashion, but people invest in your time and energy that you have put out there. So I put a lot of stuff out, yeah. And I'd seen this lady, she'd been liking my stuff and this and that, but it never got any more from that. And one day I got an inbox from her, right? And it was a massive, great big long story saying that, she's a single parent, she didn't have that much money, but she was wanting to manifest the money to buy her daughter a new horse. And anyway, she said, I've been doing exactly everything that you've said. And obviously, manifesting is from the heart. And she told me everything that she'd been doing. She followed everything that I said. And I've got goosebumps telling this story. And she'd manifested this beautiful horse. This man messaged her out the blue saying, I've got this horse here. Nobody's really wanting to buy it. And he even said to her, I'll let you split the payment. So in the end, she showed me a picture of her daughter hugging this horse.
Oh my
And
God.
she was able to manifest the money to purchase this horse for her daughter. And I was just blown away. And it's like, it just
Mm.
shows though, if you are manifesting from a place of love and your heart's desire and your heart is pure and, there's no limiting beliefs with it and you are doing the work that needs to be done, the universe will provide. So honestly, it was such a beautiful story. And I was so blown away when she told it me. I was like, wow. Wowzers trousers. And now she's made it onto a podcast. So I know she didn't buy something from me, but I'm just saying though, it just shows that when you want the money for something, sort it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So there's a few there's a few points that I really, really just want to maybe come back to there. So first of all, the question is, do you genuinely, so I know I said to Jenny before, what do you do when a person genuinely doesn't have the money? But the question to ask is, right, so where there's a will, there's a way, right? So a lot of the time we think that we've not got the money, but when you actually look at everything, what is more important to you, right? This is a big question that, I had to ask to myself, right? And I'm not saying that this is for everyone, but I didn't go on holiday for a few years. And holidays are important for our mental health. I really do understand that. But sorting my business out was more important for my mental health because I couldn't keep doing the same job I was doing because that was worse for my mental health, right? So it's like I didn't go out on holiday for years. I wasn't spending loads of money on clothes for years. I wasn't like, going on nights out. I wasn't doing all of that. I had to completely change my life, right? But let me tell you now it's like every day is a holiday because I'm doing my purpose. I'm living my purpose, and it's beautiful and it's joyful. And yes, there are situations where genuinely now is not the time because the money physically isn't there right in this moment. However, like Jenny said, there is always a way when you decide, because magic happens. Because first of all, you have to decide that you're going to work with that person no matter what, even if it's not in this current moment, right? And then the magic happens. Like, so you might get a promotion, you might get a new job, some random money might come in, you might get a tax rebate, you might suddenly get some more clients, you might start selling stuff on Vinted, you know, like there's like infinite ways. You've got to open up to the idea that money can come in infinite ways, but you have to make the decision that if this is the step for you, you're going to take that step. And I've done this now countless, like I've lost count of the amount of times that I've done it. And, I think last year I invested a lot of money, right? And, I had I've had my own business now for 2.5 years. And obviously you don't know how much money is coming in a lot of the time. You don't know, obviously sometimes your payment plans and things like that. But I don't think I had many coming in at this point. And I was like, no, I'm going to work with this person and the money's going to come in and it's going to happen. And guess what? It happened. Right. And it's again and again and again, this has happened because I made the decision. Right. And I practiced this faith probably now for a period of a few years. But it works. It really, really does work. Like the money has always come back to me very quickly. So it really isn't a case of, I can't afford it. It's a case of I'm going to afford it, right? So it's that reframe of what it is that you're thinking. Yeah. It's not, oh my God, I can't afford it. Like it's never going to happen. It's like, no, I'm going to afford it. And if it's not now, it's going to be soon. Right. But, and then living as if from that place, like, other things that you can do that I've done in the past is like, I've actually, because I'm very visual, like I've visualized working with that person, right, in a session and what the session would be like and how I would feel and the breakthroughs that I would have and stuff like that. And say you want to go and do a course, you can then visualize yourself that I'm in that course or journal about it. Oh my God, I had this amazing time in this workshop today, and this happened, and I met this person and I met that person, and getting yourself into the state of having that experience now, because your body doesn't know the difference. And that's when you quantum leap the timeline to you actually being able to work with that person physically, and then the money will come in, and being grateful for the money being there now. Oh my God, like, isn't it wonderful that the money's just suddenly arrived for this course or this person, right? Like miracles happen when you decide that this is the next step for you. Right. And a lot of the time people go, oh, well, maybe it's just not meant to be, not to work with that person. And it's not quite like that. If you're feeling the call to work with that person, if you're feeling the pull to work with that person, really it's your limiting beliefs that are creating it's not meant to be with that person. Right. If you want to do it, you are meant to do it. There's a reason why you have that feeling. So yes, it might not be right this second, but decide and it will happen.
Drop might walk out. I like how you said there, the faith. So let's just say, for example, someone has got savings, okay? And we all know that we like don't want to touch the savings. That's rainy day shares. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just leave that there. But you're wanting to work with a coach, for example, or whatever it is, a marketing specialist or a business coach. And you're saying, right, okay, I've not got the money. So the fact of the matter is the money's there, but you don't want to invest it. You don't want to spend it. But
Right.
what that is actually saying to the universe is, or what you're saying to yourself is, I don't think I'm going to make this back in order to replenish my savings. So what that is actually showing then is you're not backing yourself. You don't have faith in yourself, and you don't have faith in the fact that this is going to work, and you are not going to, return the money back to your account again. So again, though, we've got to think about this energy exchange. And Also, as well, if someone has got a high ticket offer, for example, and you're like, well, I'm not paying that for that. Oh, here's my coaching program, high ticket. And it's like, but 1 minute, you're not willing to put your hand in your pocket and pay that person for their time and energy, yeah, to reap the rewards of what they want to give you, but you are willing to put that price tag on your offer, hoping that somebody else is going to pay it. It's like, think of the complication with, remember, every thought has energy and every emotion or our energy has energy. That's not right. But you know what I mean? No, every thought and every feeling has energy. So what you're saying is like, no, I don't want to spend yours, but I'm happy to charge it on mine. It's a kind of like cross contamination and like it's completely at the university sat there like, what's she playing at? You know, like so you've got to think to yourself as well. And I do believe that this is again law of attraction in work. What you put out, you will get back. So if you're sat there like keeping hold of all your money, don't want to invest in it, it's like, it's currency, energy. Let it move, let it flow, let it go as if trust, and believe it is going to come back to you. And I say this from a place of experience, to be honest, because I have kind of felt that. But what that is then, if you're holding on to money, it's a scarcity it's a scarcity. Jesus Christ. Politician. It's a scarcity mindset. So what you are saying is deep, deep, deep down, there is a limiting belief that there's not going to be more. More is not going to arrive. So again, though, maybe go and address the scarcity mindset, the money mindset, or the money limiting beliefs of like, money isn't plentiful. It is. That's why there's like multi-million, bajillion, trillion, billionaires out there. And yeah, I know that some people were born that way, but again, though, other people have got that way by from scratch, from literally from nothing. So it is possible. It is all about your mindset. So
Totally, absolutely. And something I practice as well is like when I'm feeling quite like you were saying with my money, I'm like, I don't want to spend money on that thing. I will actually give some money to charity. I will actually give like 10 or 20 quid or something like that to charity, even if I might technically not, it might feel a bit of a stretch at the time, but I will go and do it because you know why I do it? Because it makes me feel good. And I love to give to charity and it makes me feel expansive and it gets me out of that state of, yes, and it just opens me up. And then guess what? Money comes in because I've give money to a good cause and it's just come back to me. But I just want to say, like, me and Jenny both work with light workers and the reason that I do anyways, I can tell you why it's important that I believe that light workers invest in themselves because when light workers and healers have got money, they put money into good causes, right? They invest in other small businesses, right? They invest in worthwhile causes. They are conscious with the way that they're spending money, as in they're buying into brands that are more ethical, right? That are ecologically, is that the right word? Like serving the planet and things like that, right? And they are buying into organic food, right? And they're putting the money into themselves in a healthy way, right? Because healers and lightworkers are not, I'm sorry, but they're not as likely to go to McDonald's, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But like they're not as likely to go and have takeaways and things like that, right? They're more likely to like be buying into like healthy food. So the more light workers that are empowered in their money, they're going to be putting money back into the planet, right? And that's why it's really, really important that as healers and light workers, we learn to accept financial exchange for our gifts and services. And if you are a light worker that wants to have your own business, you're not like, honestly, like how I ended up doing this was literally by investing in myself and taking the leap of faith. And the way that you do that in the beginning, if you don't know how, is you start reading books. There's so many books now on money mindset, on wealth consciousness, all of this stuff. And it's just about doing that one day at a time and putting these things into practice, like Louise Hay, like you said, right? So Amanda Francis, Denise Duffield Thomas, and then there's the books like Neville Goddard. There's the Rich Dad Poor Dad. There's those sort of older books as well. What's it called now? There's loads, isn't there? Can you think of any? There's quite a lot of books on money consciousness and that, isn't there? From like, I can't think of them right now, but that's a good place to start, and get yourself on YouTube and just listen to Abraham Hicks, right? And we're going to be creating a lot more content on all of this stuff as well. Today, we just specifically wanted to talk to this subject, right? But there's loads of free stuff out there that can support you, but you've got to know that it's something that you're going to have to continuously work on, because I'm working on it now. I'm sure you are as well, Jenny. Like, it's an ongoing thing with money that for as long as you're a human incarnate here, it's something you're going to have to work on, because it's something that we are bombarded with. So you've always got to be watching your money beliefs, and especially as a spiritual entrepreneur, because you want to attract clients, yeah? And you can't really do this. It doesn't work when you've got a lack mindset around money. As you work on your money beliefs, everything just expands and unfolds. Brad Yates, the EFT guy, is absolutely amazing. He's got tons of free content on his channel where you tap through money and manifesting clients and stuff like that. He's absolutely brilliant. So there's infinite resources available to you that you don't even have to pay for right now, that you can take advantage of and start working on that. But I don't buy it. It's an excuse when you want to work with I'm sorry, but it is, right? This is a tough love. It's an excuse when you say, I can't afford it, and you know that you want to work with that person. So it's like, no, I am going to afford it. Is that right? I will work with that person. You have to decide, but then work on that part of you that is placing all of those beliefs, inside. And a lot of that resistance, a lot of the time as well, I'm going to be really honest with you, is it's your ego coming up going, oh no, we can't do this now, it's not safe to do this now, I'm not ready to do it now, right? A lot of it is that it's like, it's not actually true that you can't afford it. With a lot of people, with a lot of you can, right? You actually can, because I've done it loads of times, and I know other people that have been absolutely on their ass and done it. Like, so it's like, if it's ultimately true that you can't and you're not going to be able to feed the kids or whatever, then fair play. But that's not usually the case, right? And like I say, there's tons of free content out there for you to look at. So there's my
Was a tough love one, this one, wasn't it? I feel like rather than tough love, I just feel like it's home truth though, isn't it? Like, I feel like that's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. 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 And I never pressure anybody on my sales calls or anything like that. I definitely don't believe in that either, because, we're all
Sends the
empathic.
heavies round.
Yeah, no,
Boom, boom,
because
boom,
I've
boom.
had that before, and when someone's doing that with me, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to work with you, because if you're pressuring me, then you're obviously skint, so no, right? So it's like, no, but it's true though, isn't it? Right? So it's
We
like,
attract, don't chase.
yeah, it's totally. It's like, I will never ever pressure anyone. I will make sure that it's right, genuinely right for them to work with me, because I know that if it's right for that person to work with me, they're going to work with me no matter what, whether that's now or later, right? But all we're getting at today is, it is possible for you, right? It is absolutely possible for you to manifest the life, the business of your dreams. You can do it. Like, I was like 20 or 30K in debt before, and now I don't really have any debt. I just have like I say, my investments that I made to, I think it was for like a marketing coach that I did take a loan out a few years ago for. And so this is another option as well. And I'm not saying to people to go in debt, right? But I have done this as well. Like, I have taken out business loans. Yeah. And I've still got them now, but I don't regret them one bit. I absolutely don't, because it set me free. Like, it was worth it. So it's just, there's always a way. There is always a way. So
Where
I
there's
said,
a will, there's a way.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
So
that's a
we're
good
working
place
on
to leave it.
yeah.
And on the That didn't work as well then. Right. And so until next week then.
I just want to say as well, because I didn't say it at the start, did I not?
Oh
If you
yeah.
resonate, if you resonate with this, please subscribe to mine and Jen's channels. You'll find the links for everything that we do below. And please like, and if you would like us, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, light worker, or healer, and you would like us to talk about anything that you might be struggling with, please put it in the comments below, and we will reply, and we may very likely make a podcast episode out of it. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye.